And yeah, and here is the start of the race, everyone. There's gonna be obviously some delay between the runners because of Twitch stream, so blame it on that, but... yeah, we are starting, as usual in Insanity Beach. There's not really much to talk about in this level, but we can start talking about, for example, version differences. So as you may notice, they're playing in the Japanese version, which is just faster for 100%, because of... there's a couple of reasons. I guess we'll get into them as the race goes on, but it is faster by like around a minute or so, so it's something that to keep in mind. Everyone's playing on, at least our main runners are going to be playing on the Japanese version. Yeah, here in Insanity Beach is one of the few levels where you're going to see actually invincibility be optimal. They use it to destroy this bridge, the box bridge right there, and then be able to just wreck the other two boxes on the other side and get the first gem. So Crash 1 has a total of 26 gems and 2 keys, which add 2%. The levels themselves also technically add 2%, but we'll talk about the percentage thing later on, I guess. It'll probably make more sense later. So, Crash 1 through 3 is kind of notorious for having some odd skips. So the games have their gems, of course, but some of the gems have certain colors. So for example, here, well, you wouldn't get a color gem here, but the colored gems have specific things, like they can spawn a platform, for example, or something else to be able to get boxes later on. So you would need to backtrack. So in this case, you would need the green gem to be able to access the boxes that are off screen, but doing a skip, you are gonna be able to just get them over there, like doing a little bit of blind movement. So everyone seems to have gotten it. Noyar didn't get it the usual way, and they were doing a backup. I cannot hear, so I don't know if they actually got the gems. I'm gonna assume they did, but yeah. Ideally, you'll get them with invincibility. It's pretty fast, but if not, there's another backup that you can do. Yeah.
Yeah, at least with this skip in the backup, you can repeatedly try the skip, and it's not like a one and done, like the other skips that we're gonna see.
Yeah, for sure. Another big thing about this game, obviously, is that, as we mentioned earlier, the mistakes are very costly, so obviously if you die, you are out of luck. For some skips, you only have the one attempt, otherwise you may just die, and then either have to redo the level or just finish it and come back later. Yeah, these games are notorious for having like this kind of backtracking. These games I'm meaning like 1 through 3, and even, you know, some of the later games like Crash 4.
It's actually so weird now that like the game has evolved so much that there's even like barely any backtracking anymore in Crash 1, at least.
Yeah, it is crazy. I guess we'll talk about it a little later, but there really is not as much backtracking because of the amount of skips. So here we're about to see... Oh, we already saw it from Klaxi, but there is another skip here. So using the invincibility, or I guess like when you get hit, you get pushed upwards a little bit. So using that property, you would throw a mask away to be able to land on the upper ceiling of the hammer, I guess, like the stage area part. I don't know how to explain it very well, but anyway, you can just walk to the other side of the portal without having to touch it, and
Klaxi unfortunately broke the box, the arrow crate, and had to do the backup, so it cost him a little bit. You can do this method of the Great Gate Skip, or you can do a very old one that's extremely finicky, which is, I think was sub-jumping off of the end, right?
The previous method before this new one was discovered required like basically what's a pixel perfect jump off of the portal. Not really jump, like it's just a position. Sometimes you could land on the other side of the portal, and you wouldn't be teleported out, so you needed to land on that pixel. I'm not actually sure if it's pixel perfect, but I mean, it's probably a couple of pixels at most. But it was very, very finicky. Obviously, back in like 2014, it used to kill like 1 billion runs, but thankfully, this new method was found. A cool thing about this game, obviously, is the movement method, which I almost take it for granted nowadays, but you know, it's essential to go fast. It is called zigzagging, so you may see some, or well, a lot of, basically all of the runners here try and wiggle crash in the air. That's basically because for some reason the devs put the diagonal speed to be a little bit faster. So if you alternate diagonals while you're in the air, you're just gonna move faster, way faster than just walking, I guess. So you can see it very well in here in boulders. The rock tends to be just a little bit slower than the player in the Japanese version, but with the zigzagging you can just leave the rock so far behind. So decent zigzagging can make a huge difference, like throughout the course of the entire run. And I mean, it can murder your thumb, but that's okay.
That's what makes it the OG Crash games so difficult to like grind in like a 5-hour stream, for example.
Oh yeah, when I was doing Crash 1 back in 2018, 2019, I was only able to do like 2-hour sessions at most.
Yeah.
After that, my thumb just started to hurt. Maybe my stamina wasn't great, but you know, it is what it is. Alright, so we are here in Upstream. This is another level that wouldn't require a color gem to be able to obtain everything. But there is a skip to it, but this is by far the most inconsistent of them all. So we will see if there's anyone that's able to show it off. So Klaxi, if you look at the upper right corner screen, Klaxi just did a sub jump to be able to break the box that's below the like log bridge, I guess. And now he's gonna try to set up a very specific position here. Oh, he actually got it, maybe.
Got it up?
Oh yeah, he actually clutched it out. Wow, incredible. Give it up for Klaxi. That is very, very crazy. Super, super good. Let's see if Joey is able to get it. Hypnops do not go for it, very respectable. Joey actually also landed on the pixel.
Well.
Wow, okay. We will see if Neuer is gonna go for it, which it looks like he will, and then we'll talk about it, because it's a very interesting one. Actually got it again! Oh my god! Oh my god, that is insane!
Everyone that went for it got it.
Well, Hypno should have gone for it. As apparently super free. Okay, yeah, so go ahead.
And it's not like just hit the pixel and it's GG's, because you also have to carefully maneuver while you're off screen, because you can just easily fall when you're up there.
Yeah, so it is extremely impressive that all of the 3 people that went for it actually got it, because that skip is pixel perfect. So you have to hit a very specific position to be able to clip in the wall. The way the walls work in this game is that they kind of like repeat themselves in segments. Then that makes it so that in some segments of the wall, while these repetitions are going, you can actually clip in there. So using that to our advantage, if you hit that specific pixel, you're able to clip out of bounds there and be able to just go through. And as Cookie said, there are just holes up there, so you still have to either get a good positioning on the out of bounds or jump over the holes if you also got like a decent one. But it is a very tricky skip, so it is awesome that, you know, everyone that went for it just got it. That it just makes it seem so much easier than what it actually is.
We're not even done, because we're coming up on another skip, the 4th skip of Island 1.
Yep. So obviously a lot of Island 1 levels are just gonna have these revisits because, you know, we don't have any color gems. But this was the last one to be found. This one is Rolling Stone skip. It was found, I don't know if it was quite a year ago, but at least close to a year ago. And
it was at least a year, because I remember doing it in the last Spash League.
Okay,
so
then yeah.
Over a year.
So this may be the anniversary. So, it is a very weird skip that involves some camera usage and just kind of like a use of some mechanics where you also are able to clip onto the wall and be able to get out, for example. Because that was the biggest issue for at the beginning was like, I mean, you could sort of break the boxes that were down there, but there was no way to get out. But look at...
Fortunately, New Jar died.
Oh, I didn't. I missed that. Well, Joey and Klaxi got it, but
Yeah.
Look at Demus, which is an exceptional runner of this game. They're not doing the race today, but they were the ones to theorize and found the Rolling Stone skip, so big shoutouts to them. Made, you know, minute barriers and stuff even more possible, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, so we're on to Hog Wild. Not really much to talk about this level, obviously. It's just like a resident auto-scroller.
I mean, we do have our first region difference in Hog Wild.
Yeah, you're right.
Because
So-
one of the reasons that
Yeah,
that the runners are playing Japanese is that the Japanese version you get the green gem in Hog Wild, while in all the other versions you get the green gem in Lost City.
Yep.
Which like that doesn't really matter that much. The green gem being early, but what matters is that in the Japanese version as well, Lost City, instead of having the green gem, has the red gem, which then allows to do the level right after Road to Nowhere without having to visit it twice.
Yeah. If there was ever a skip found for Road to Nowhere, I'm not sure where we would be standing in terms of version differences, but that's the main reason why the Japanese version is used. It just saves like so much time to just be able to do Road to Nowhere in a single visit. But yeah, moving on, we are on to Native Fortress, which is... I believe this is the first level where we're not gonna get the gem.
Yeah.
So yeah, we need the red gem for this, meaning that we need to come back after we have the gem, unless a skip is found. You know, this could serve as incentive for someone in the chat to go and find the skip for this. Thank you very much.
That would be insane if Island 1 went from 5 revisits to not a single revisit.
Yeah, that would be crazy. There's some finicky things about this skip in terms of theory. Like the camera just not following you, and the way the level Crash 1 levels tend to load, because they don't load the level entirely right away. It's just by chunks. So I don't know. It makes this skip in particular kind of weird if it were to be possible, but who knows? I mean, I never thought Rolling Stone skip was gonna be possible, and here it is. Yeah, Klaxi and Joy are having pretty solid runs. Had some hiccups here and there at the beginning, but other than that, it's like very solid. So it is impressive that even past, you know, the first couple of skips, they're able to just keep it sort of together. Also, I'm not sure if Joy did, like, I just saw Joy die, but I think it was right after the checkpoint, if I saw that correctly. So that may have been just on purpose to reset cycles. Because in this game, the cycles reset once you die. It's something that is abused in 90% as well.
And it's also super notorious for that the Japanese version has just awful cycles.
Yeah. Some of the cycles in the Japanese version are just desynced, which is really dumb.
Yeah.
You may see that later in Sunset Vista, but it is silly. But yeah, we're on to Up the Creek. So Up the Creek doesn't really have much to talk about it either. There's kind of like some hidden boxes around, but nothing of great notice. So gonna be the chance to remind you all that you're all watching the second week of the SPRASH League, which is an event that happens throughout 6 weeks, where all our runners run 6 different games, Spyro 1 through 3, and Crash 1 through 3. And all of them max completion, all of them to participate for either the prize pools in the same, like in the race, which the individual race does have a prize pool, or for the chance to participate in the last SPRASH Fecta, which takes place sometime in December. I don't remember the exact date, but yeah, so the stakes are high. And our runners here are doing very well so far. So I definitely expect a very, very close race here.
I just looked at Klaxy's screen and I thought he was just gonna get caught by the death plane in the waterfall.
Oh, yeah, that kind of happened. The waterfalls actually have like a dumb, like extended, yeah, death plane that you can just fall into when you're clearly not even gonna like die. But Crash won't be like that sometimes. Crash games in general tend to be a little janky.
I guess we didn't talk about because it was just a fast boss, but
oh yeah,
in OG Crash 1 you get 2 masks at the start of every boss, so you can just use it freely because after the level you're just gonna have your masks get taken.
In I was gonna say, oh my gosh, in the Japanese version, Papu Papu has 5 health. I forgot to say that. And in NST, I'm pretty sure they do too.
And it's just it also has 5.
Yeah, I don't know why they took that in. It's like the only Japanese thing that they took in for NST, but okay. Weird, but okay. Generally, skipping cutscenes in bosses doesn't really matter too much. Just for Reaper it tends to matter. But everyone else, other than Brio, I guess, in Brio it'll also matter. But that's later on.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, enough talking random nonsense from me. We are on to the Lost City. A run killer. Well, we already had a couple of those with the skips, but you know. The Lost City is notorious for being pretty tricky level. The cycles can be very tight to catch at times, and the way this is a good time, I guess, to talk about cycles. The way the cycles work in this game is that there's 3 types of cycles that you're gonna see. I don't even know what they're calling them nowadays, but I'll try to explain them. So the first type and the most common one is gonna be global cycles, which start once you turn on the game, pretty much. Like, so main menu and the cycles are already working. I don't know how they managed that, but yeah, that's how this game goes for the most part. So, for example, the pushers that you're gonna see in Lost City, those are global cycles, and yeah, and they only really reset once you die, pretty much. So that's why death abusing can be pretty useful. So there's some levels where you're just gonna see our, racers just die at the beginning, and you're gonna be asking yourself why. Why would they do that? Yeah, it's 2 reset cycles. So yeah, global cycles, the most common. Then we have, I'm not sure, like, okay, so I'm gonna call them local cycles. People can bash at me at that if I call them wrong, but those are gonna be the ones that are gonna be more proximity based. So they will start once Crash gets to a certain position. For example, the flames in Temple Ruins in the next level that we're gonna be seeing, those are gonna be local, because they only trigger once Crash starts. No, I think New Year died. Unfortunate. Yeah, this is just what happens. And Lost City is long too. Like it is a long, tricky level. But yeah, and the last type of cycle is gonna be the spawn cycle, which we only really have a single example of here, at least that I can think of, which is the what is that level called? The one that you skip in any %.
They skip Fumbling?
No, I don't remember. There's a
level you skip in any.
The one that where you have the
river.
green gem, one.
I mean, it's Lost City.
No,
80%.
I need % later on. Castle Machinery, that's what it is. Thank you, chat, saving me.
Oh, that low. That you use the green gem.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for saving me there. Yeah, Castle Machinery has a spawn cycle there, but we'll get to that later, I guess. Those start once you enter the level.
Also, now because of all the skips that were found in Island 1, we actually have a different routes because Klaxy and Joey got all the skips in Island 1. They're gonna backtrack for native. While if you didn't get Rolling Stones, or in case of Hypno, didn't go for Upstream, you just continue forward and then you backtrack at the end for the other 2 levels of Island 1.
Yeah, it is just slightly faster. And I mean, it's just, you know, like a convenience. Like, it's just basically free time save.
Yeah. New Jar's having a rough time in Lost City.
Yeah. And yeah, it's much nicer just to have Native Fortress early, because it genuinely is a road killer, or a run killer. It used to be super bad later on in the run. Yeah, unfortunately, Noijar is just having a rough time with Lost City, but it is what it is with this level. It just sucks. It genuinely is a run killer, and hopefully they'll be able, or he'll be able to shake it off and be able to move on. There's still lots of, like, a lot of the game left, so anything can still happen, you know?
Yeah. Actually having a little bit of trouble with the boxes.
Yeah, ideally you'd go around the box and spin them, but Plexi was like, okay. Having issues there. But he's doing really well though. Like, if that's all the hiccups you're gonna get throughout the run, I mean, I, you know, gladly take it, especially for a race like this.
It's much better to have like small hiccups everywhere than like 1 or 2 huge hiccups.
Yeah, for sure. Alright. Yeah, so now that Klaxy and soon Joy is gonna have the gem, they don't have to backtrack to Island 1 again. Hypno's gonna have to do that later, but we'll see how our runners are more or less based on that way later into the run. Right now though, Klaxy is definitely ahead. Like, Klaxy and Joy can be comparable because they're doing the same route right now, but yeah, Klaxy is definitely ahead. Has gotten every skip. Joy is close behind in second. Has also gotten every skip, just slightly behind Klaxy. And then between Hypno and Noijar, I want to say that Hypno's third, because Hypno still has performed consistently. It's just that hasn't, or didn't do Upstream.
I mean, I guess you can kind of compare Hypno to New Jar right now, because New Jar has Rolling Stones and Hypno has Up, and they're somewhat similar in length.
Yeah. True. That is true. Alright, so if anyone also has any questions in chat, I'll try to pay some attention. I tend to get distracted, but feel free to ask questions. And
I'll say
we'll
one
try to
of
get to them.
a useful thing you see a lot in Temple Ruins is spinning through the spears, because spinning grants you some invisibility in some objects. I don't know if there's like a rule or if there's just some objects you can just spin through them.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. It is.
Like, for example, fire, you can't spin through it, but you can spin like spears and like, I guess, projectiles.
Yeah, it's roughly about to say that. Yeah, I don't know. Crash 1 tends to be kind of weird, but the spinning does give you some invincibility. So, for example, earlier in the game, for the pistons in like Great Gate, some of our runners were just spinning on the spikes and weren't taking damage. So that's why it's just spinning gives you a little bit of invincibility frames. Yeah, good catch. I completely forgot to talk about that. So Klaxy and Joy moving on to Road to Nowhere, and then Hypno in Boulder Dash. Also murdering his thumb. Yeah, so backward zigzagging just, I mean, it used to hurt me a lot, so...
It is like the hardest one to do for sure, because like if you're doing up, you can kind of fat finger left and right, but you can't do that if you're pressing down.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not alone in that one. Yeah, talking about version differences, I guess there's another thing that you would see in like. So, for example, the reason why any percent is faster is because if you die, you don't get the cutscene at the end of the level, where you missed like X amount of boxes or whatever in the US version, but you do in the Japanese version. The problem is that the thing is that in the Japanese version, Crash will only get one single box dropped on them.
Yeah.
So for any percent levels, like for example, what is an any percent level? Native Fortress. In the US version, you would save time compared to the Japanese version, but it's definitely obviously not enough to to make the difference of our road to nowhere.
It's useful because you don't get that cutscene in NTSCU, and also because of resetting the cycles.
Yeah.
Okay, so another region difference that we have on screen is that Hypno is currently playing through Slippery Climb, which is quote-unquote normally, or in the other versions, Slippery Climb is in Island 3. So I think the explanation is, for what the devs did, is they swapped Sunset and Slippery Climb with each other, because I think they thought that Slippery was easier than Sunset, which I guess that is true, in my opinion.
I definitely agree with that. I think Sunset is a harder level.
Sunset just feels like an Island 3 level.
Yeah, it makes it kind of weird, I guess, that you have the village level or whatever in Island 3 when they do follow like the themes kind of thing, but yeah, Sunset is just like a brutal level, in my opinion. At least casually, it is.
Remember one of my first few runs? It's usually just a 20-minute split in Sunset.
Yeah, that sounds about right for all of us who run Crash 1 the first time. I mean, it's like a 5-minute level in itself, so
yeah.
It maybe, if not the longest level in the trilogy, like pretty close to that. At least to do normally, right? Because then you have like in Crash 3, like level 11, I forget the name, or where you have to do a lot of backtracking, but in Sunset you don't have to do that. Anyway, so another of the version differences in Slippery Climb is that you get a billion masks from the Japanese version.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in the US version I think you only get one, if any. I think it is one, but in the Japanese version it just gives you that little bit of safety thing, which can be helpful in case you misjudge how some of these like platforms are changing and whatnot, so can save you decently well. So I don't think we're gonna have all of our runners in Slippery at the same time. Hypno's about to finish that level, but it's pretty close. I mean, it's like a 2.5 level, so if he... Oh, go ahead.
Like, I was gonna say, like, Slippery is pretty notorious level for, like, hitboxes stuff with the birds. Because, like, you can just misjudge where the bird is gonna be and jump. Like, you think you're gonna land on the bird, but you just go through it. And it's even worse if you add the jankiness of the Japanese cycles.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Future Frenzy also takes forever. And Go Tomorrow, those two. To get the gem. But anyway, we're on to the next boss fight. There's not really... Crush 1 doesn't really have that much RNG, but this will be probably the biggest thing. At least in how the run is right now, anyway. Koala Kong will, you know, shoot rocks at you and then he'll move. And however much he decides to move, for example, in Hypno screen right now, he's just moving all the way to the left.
Yeah.
That's the worst RNG that you can get. He can throw the rock really early and you can hit it. And the differences between the best RNG and the worst RNG can be like 7 or 8 seconds. It's actually pretty significant. Maybe not so much for a, you know, 100% run, like for over an hour run, but at least in 80% it is pretty bad. So yeah, not much RNG, but there's a little bit, I guess. Klaxi also just finished Slippery Climb, but very, very good. And Joy is pretty close as well to finishing the level. Rush 1 is kind of notorious for having really weird places to hide the boxes. Here in Heavy Machinery, you can just like, yeah, 3D range the thing like what Hypno did. You may see it in Klaxi shortly after Koala Kong, but you can just 3D range the thing and go find the boxes. I don't know how you were supposed to tell that casually. I guess there's 2 enemies over there signalizing, oh yeah, you can jump
Like
there.
2 enemies there, and it's like, why would you put enemies there?
Yeah. I don't know, making you think outside the box, but even that I think is pretty rough. But I guess it is kind of normal for, you know, platformers from that era to have this kind of hidden stuff.
It looks like everyone's gonna make it safe and sound through Slippery.
Yeah, very good. They wanted to sell strategy guides, you know? That could be actually a reason, for all I know. It's a pretty good theory. There's a movement tech, I guess. I think we'll talk about it better in Cortex Power. It's called a submarine jump, but just keep that in mind. It'll be very, very important for the next level, so we may even see it from some of the runners here in Heavy Machinery. But what it is, it's essentially you spin and then fall off a ledge, and then you have 10 frames to jump. I'll wait for an example, and then I can probably pinpoint what exactly that looks like. But potentially Klaxi may do it later in this level.
Yeah.
So it is very, very good in case you want to optimize certain stuff, even just small movements, because in this game, I mean, I'm sure you've heard that Crash games drop jumps if you have been in the speedrunning scene or whatever. In Crash 1, if you spin too close to a ledge and then try to jump, it just drops it. So, doing a spin and then doing a submarine jump would help to optimize stuff, even small movement, as I said. But yeah, Klaxi may do one here shortly, so we will see. Maybe not, maybe they'll take it safe, which is also fair.
I mean, we are most definitely gonna see it in Cortex Power.
Yep, for sure. Alright, so we're all into Island 3 now. Let's see. Yep, Klaxi did it, right there.
Hypno dying in Cortex Power, but it's fine because he's doing any percent passive. It's not going for the skip.
Yeah, that's completely fair. Yeah, I guess if you die, I mean, you can. It is faster to re-enter the level and try to skip, but
yeah,
if you also just want to take it safe, that's also fine. So pay attention to Joey's screen, because he may also be able to do the submarine jump here, shortly. Unless he also takes it safe, but... Nah, he will take it safe, okay.
Yeah.
So over here you can submarine jump off of that blue pipe. And it's a little bit faster Klaxi to do it. But yeah, it is gonna be very, very important in this level. So this is the last escape that has been found. In terms of like... runner... Yeah, like length of the run, I guess. Yeah, how late into the run, yes. Not literally a last one. Like, Cortex Power's big cape has actually been known for a bit, but... Like, for a bit, meaning, like, probably at... maybe close to a decade at this point, if... It's just that the methods have varied, and back in the day it used to be, like, very much so a TAS-only thing. Now it's very much so RTA viable. But I'll explain so as Klaxi gets to it. But pay attention to Klaxi's screen, mainly. And he's about to approach the first part of the escape using, again, that wall kind of property that I explained about in Upstream. You can clip here and then go out of bounds. You do need to...
very unlucky of him to miss that.
Yeah, it is unlucky too, because SPRASH 1 has a thing called the spin timer. I mean, the other two games do too, it's just it works different. In this game you can do 5 spins at the same time, and then SPRASH is like, I'm tired, you cannot spin anymore. So if you mess it up the first time, you have to wait like 10 seconds. The spin timer, you get 1 spin after... I can't remember if it's 1 or 2 seconds, but...
It's after 2 seconds.
It is 2
you
seconds,
get a max of 5 spins.
Yep. So yeah, but yeah, Klaxi clipped through the thing, walks to the other side, doing a small runboard kind of thing, and then for the exit here, he has to be in a very, very specific position. This one is a lot easier to set up, of course, than Upstream, because you don't have the leaf falling.
Yeah.
That's like a timer thing. But he has to hit a specific pixel there, and he got it. So, very cool. Very, very good. Good job, Klaxi. He will submarine jump. Oh, scary.
Klaxi.
He's fine.
Safe. Okay, he's fine.
But yeah, pay attention to Joy's screen now. The submarine jump is that jumping meter that you're gonna see in the skip. So just spin. Once the spin animation is over, you will have 10 frames to input the jump.
So fast.
Yeah, that was good. Very good. Good job.
I think there's a slight difference to the sun jump because, as Paul's already said, you have 10 frames after a spin to input a jump. But in the case with Cortex Power Skip, if you do the jump too early, you can bonk your head. So I think it's like the last 5 frames of the sub jump. You get out of Cortex Power safely.
Yeah. If you bonk your head, it's over for you. Yeah, obviously the problem is that you can still die to that skip, and if you die, you will lose a solid like 2 minutes. It is a bad one to fail. So both Klaxi and Joy keeping it really close between the two of them.
You're also attempting.
Yeah. So remember that Hypno did not do a skip. If Neuer gets this, it could be at least getting close to Hypno.
Yeah.
Because Hypno has to redo the level. The thing is that Hypno at least didn't die super far into the level, so at least from what I remember.
Yeah, he died like almost after the checkpoint.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a leaderboard, not as a... it's just like a spreadsheet. No. Yeah, neither. Problem is time. Okay.
He is gonna retry it though.
That is respectable. It is faster to retry the skip than it is to finish the level. So I think at this point where Neuer is at, thinking, okay, I've died a lot and stuff, I can use all the time save that I can get, it's probably better to just redo the level. And yeah, as I said, like the skip is like you can fail it. It can still be tricky. But hopefully this time he'll be able to get it just fine. I missed it, but I think Klaxi died. No, Klaxi didn't die, never mind. I was like... No, I completely forgot about generator room.
Yeah. No one doing the end strats of Gen Room, SMH.
Generator Room has a global cycle, or like a death abuse strat, I guess, to reset cycle strategy, but... And there's also red hot strats, which is like the end of level or whatever.
Yeah.
You jump on the red hot pipes using some invincibility frames, and it is tricky, but I mean... I'm not sure if anyone does it in 100%, it's so risky to just do it. I think Noyer died again, no. Noyer. You can do it, I believe.
Oh, Klaxy dying in Toxic
Oh, that is
hit
bad.
by
That is
the
right at the end of the
barrel.
level too. Did they get dunked? I think they might have gotten dunked.
He got damaged by the bouncing barrel, and then got stuck in the ceiling, so he couldn't make the
That's
gap.
unfortunate. Oh, Joey died too.
Oh,
What is this? They're just keeping it together. They're literally talking in Discord and saying, "Oh, you died here? I'm gonna die too."
Fair is fair.
You're gonna try to keep it as close together as possible.
Was it literally the same location?
I think Joey died earlier. I'm not sure though. It may have been the same location. It is hard. Okay, it is hard to keep track of all these streams at the same time.
Yeah.
In our defense. But yeah, that may actually like benefit Hypno quite a bit. Nojer is about to try the exit again. Rage. No. I think at this point, yeah, I would just continue. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. I think like with 4 weight racers or races like this, there's someone to have to be bound to have a bad run. It's just the nature of Crash 1. It is a rough game. It is hard to just be consistent all the time, so... But Joey and Klaxy are very, very close together. They're onto Pinstripe, which do we think it's an auto-scroller, which I guess it is, sort of, but you can do a strategy here, which is if you let Pinstripe shoot the first time and go to the right, and then you can hit him on the way back. It actually saves like a shooting cycle. As a fun fact, Pirohiko's, I think, 80% TAS from pretty old. It's a super good TAS, even by today's standards, I feel. But it didn't do that strat, which is really interesting. So if you ever wanted to save time over a TAS, just do that. What we do now. I think that even with the toxic waste deaths, I think Klaxy is still in first, and Joy is also still in second.
For sure.
But Hypno will be in third. It's just toxic waste is not as long of a level as Cortex Power would be. But and I mean they don't like Klaxy and Joy don't have to release it either. If I did the math correct, I'm gonna hold you on that because I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Noyer is just kinda out of it. It is rough. Like you can just get tilted at this game. Whenever things just don't go your way, especially in a race, you know, reset list, you cannot just press the reset button, like smash that key. No, you have to finish it. It is just rough to keep yourself together. There's still around, you know, over a third of the run left. So hopefully Noyer is just gonna be able to keep himself together.
One difference that we didn't mention when Hypno was doing the high road is that the Japanese version has a way shorter high road.
Yeah,
compared to the other versions.
Yeah, it is way shorter.
It's like a
Anyway.
30-second. It's shorter.
If you pay attention to Klaxi here, he's just gonna die. That's another thing to reset the cycles, because the cycles in Sunset Vista are just so bad in the Japanese version. And especially because a lot of them are global, you just want something that can be predictable. So that's why most people, if at least 99% of runners, are just gonna death abuse at the beginning.
I guess we didn't mention, but in case you don't know, you only need to re-enter a level if you die after the first checkpoint. So that's why. I think there's like 2 or 3 levels where you death abuse at the beginning.
Yeah, Sunset is definitely a big one. Then you would also have, for example,
as well, right?
Yeah, Fumbling. Fumbling is another one. And I guess in world record level, for example, if you mess up the cycles in Lost City, you will death abuse at the beginning of Road to Nowhere to set up the cycles in Slippery Climb. I know it sounds confusing, but it's just what global cycles are, I guess, in this game. We as runners try to like minimize the amount of random cycles that we're just gonna get during the run, so making the cycles a little more predictable. It's easier in any percent because you just abuse the death abuses, but in 100% obviously you cannot die in the level. Hypno is doing the last 20% level that we will see in the run. So lights out. Again, if someone in chat wants to experiment, try to find this.
Klaxi died in Sunset.
Oh no! Oh, that's really bad. Yeah, that puts Joy in front, like pretty significantly.
He had a bad cycle at that checkpoint in the middle part.
Oh, that is unfortunate. Yeah, death in Sunset can be really costly, so that puts Joy in a pretty good position.
Yeah.
And I mean, Hypno also did it well, so he can be starting to catch up to Klaxi as well. It's just what it is with Crash 1. You just never know what's gonna happen. Like a single mistake can be minutes on end, and in a race like this, it can be very decisive, I guess, on the outcome. Joy is doing the cycles very good, so I wouldn't expect them to take a death up here. But yeah, you have to enter the, like, if you saw it from Hypno already, you have to enter the Cortex bonus to be able to retrieve the key. The keys not only give you percent, but they unlock a level that you have to do for 100%, of course. So there's 2 extra levels that you need to do. And there's a strategy here that Joy just did, which was getting the key and then death abusing. That doesn't punish you in level, since Cortex bonus is just a bonus. And you still get to keep the key, which is super weird. Okay. And it is just faster than landing on the platform, so, and it's pretty easy to do too. Like, you stand on the left side and...
It is... I think it's a little bit, like, precise, because once you... If you're doing it normally, once Cortex leaves the key, there's, like, invis walls that get put around the last platform that you're standing on.
Yeah. You're right on that regard. Yeah, you have to be on the handle ledge for that to not happen. Yeah. So Klaxi messed up hitting the exclamation mark, so hopefully that doesn't mess up the cycles too bad. Is what I mean. It's like, whenever I used to run this game and I messed up something like that in a race, I'm like, I'm gonna just take it super safe because I don't know what the cycles are gonna be.
Yeah.
Klaxi dealing with them well, so... But yeah, Joy up in the lead now. And Klaxi and Hypno following somewhat close. Reminder that Klaxi is comparable to both, or to Joy, but Hypno is not. So Hypno, even though he's a level ahead of Joy,
Yeah, he still has 2
he's
revisits
still
to do.
he's still behind Joy. We will see where that puts us once everyone has done all of the revisits. Right at the end of the run, but Joy just took a small death. Well, at least it's an 80% level, so it's not as bad. Hypno entering the next Cortex bonus, so pretty much back to back here. Taking it very, very safe, and good job. It's got it there. And does the death abuse strat as well. Very good. If you mess up, you only have 1 attempt to get the key. So if you die in the bonus, you have to redo the level, which is pretty great. I love this game. It's so fun. Definitely not suffering.
At least they made the bonus not count. Like the boxes in the bonus not count towards the total.
Yeah. For real,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. There's some box layouts that are stupid. Very, very dumb.
I think there's even some that is just impossible to get if you don't do a sub jump.
Yeah. Yeah, there are some like that. We have at least one. I don't remember which one though, but I have used to run the thing before, like all boxes or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, we haven't actually talked about like what the record is or anything, but Ted has the record with a 101 something, like a mid 101. I can't remember exactly what it is. But Ted's an insane runner. Like he has been running Crash 1 for like yeah. Basically we started together back in 2015. Crash 1 that is, so he's been around for a while, and the amount of work that he's put into this category is crazy. And he also recently got the 80% world record as well, which is, you know, very impressive. It's the first one, or the first time that someone has had like the sweep in Crash 1 since Koji back in like, I don't even know. It has been a while, back in like 2017 or something even. So yeah, Ted, a very, very impressive runner. And there's people coming in close too right now. Like, as I said, Joy is a pretty new runner. Well, new as in like, you know, a year, maybe a little bit over a year, but he's been putting in the work, like definitely. He's already have a 105, which is very impressive. And Klaxi also has a very, very good time by 106, and I'm sure both of them can like smash those times.
It all depends on how much each runner wants to improve over time. Because I think Klaxi he doesn't have a lot of experience with the Japanese version. Because I think he only switched to Japanese after he got like a 108 in NTSCU.
Yeah, I think you're right. He was doing NTSCU for a while. So let's see what, you know, differences the Japanese version can make. I cannot speak sometimes, I swear, but bear with me for a second. Anyway, Joy is on the Cortex bonus. You can see a little bit of a faster strat compared to Hypno here, using a submarine jump and not waiting for the PNTs to explode. But no shame on Hypno, of course. Maybe just a little, but but it is better to just take it safe too if needed. Here just finish Castle Machinery as well. We will see if anyone tries to go for the spawn. Yeah, spawn cycle in. Forgot cycle in Castle. But essentially, a last platform, the one that goes like up and down, like the last vertical platform, that is spawn for some reason. I just don't know why, but
I think it's like each cycle is like 11 seconds.
Yeah, it's like 11. It's like between 10 and 12, something like that. I cannot remember the time off the top of my head because I'm washed up, but you know.
Hypno doing what's essentially the last boss. I mean, it is the last boss of this run.
Yeah. This Crash one is very good at having anticlimactic endings. You kind of crash to that one as well. Actually taking the bonus save too. But getting the key nonetheless. There's some interesting strats that you can do. Obviously, Joy, I don't think Joy can get the God Cycle anymore, maybe, I don't know. But you would use like some masks and whatnot to be able to get it. I think you can get it without masks, too, it's just hard. But you can still get the like normal cycle, which would be still very, very good. So, I mean, that's what I used to get in my run, so... But regardless, honestly, maybe I'm just bad at the game, but Castle Machinery used to be like one of my run killers for sure. Just keep dying in this level. I used to kill a lot of runs at this level for some reason.
Yeah, if you're trying to go for the God Cycle and it's that precise, you're doing as many risky strats as possible.
Joey just died.
Oh.
I'm bringing it close together again. Okay, so there is the box bridge at the end of the level, like near the end of the level. Yeah, that's a very similar death to Klax's death in Sunset, at least in terms of time loss.
I guess, yeah, like, I think Klaxy has regained, like, the same advantage that he had over Joey.
Yeah, Joey unfortunately just died again, but at least doesn't have to re-enter the levels pretty early. But yeah, pretty much Klaxy just regained the advantage. And that puts also Hypno very, very close, because Hypno, silently, has been doing everything pretty safe, but also hasn't died much, as far as I know. And like, maybe if Hypno didn't fail Cortex Power escape, or not even Cortex Power, he just didn't die, I guess, in the level, he could be very, very close to the lead, so... This is what it is with this game.
I mean, he probably only lost, like, 5 seconds to Cortex Power.
Yeah, it's just still a long level to do, regardless.
Yeah.
Like, the 80% pass is still like a minute or so. So, just dying in general would cost you about that. But... let's see what Klaxy does here in the box bridge. Okay, taking it very, very safe, yeah. You know what? Respectable. Yeah, you can do some submarine jump stuff there. Obviously it's a little bit on the risky side, but it's also a little bit faster and it can make this cycle here. You see how Klaxy is just waiting there? That this is where the God Cycle would come into play. If he went faster through the level, he wouldn't need to wait there. And that just loses so much time, so... Oh, Hypno just doesn't go for the escape, okay. Thanks for clarifying. But then, yeah. Joey also taking it very, very safe in a different method. This time, after dying once, you know. Very understandable, so... Yeah, we can all shame Hypno in chat for not learning Cortex Power Skip. SMH. I cannot believe this.
I also don't do it, but SMH Hypno.
Yeah, SMH Hypno. Okay, Joey doing a little bit of time save there, using a damage abuse to get past those pipes. Pretty good. I never do that damage abuse because I sometimes get stuck on the pipes and just don't make the next jump, which kinda sucks. I think that maybe Wade was a wrong killer for me. So Klaxy doing the final boss here. Very good. Small hiccup, but not bad. Enjoy also pretty close to Klaxi too. They're both gonna be entering the lab soon, which is the last level before revisits, as you can already tell from Hypno's screen. He's doing A level. I cannot tell which one this is. Lights Out, I think. No, it's. Is it Lights Out or Fumbling? No, this is Fumbling. Yeah, this is Fumbling. Yeah. He is doing Fumbling. There is stuff. There's stuff going on. Yeah, he's just about to finish here. Fumbling, like, respawn cycles can be pretty tricky. I don't know if anyone other than Tep actually does them. But back before Rolling Stone Skip was invented, you actually would need to carry the cycles from Fumbling to Native Fortress, which was awful, absolutely awful. Klaxi having a little bit of a heart attack there, but getting it together. Doing a very nice TNT spin to end the level and move on. The nice thing about the Japanese version too in the lab is that you get a mask right at the beginning. In the NTSU version you don't, which kinda sucks, but it is what it is.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, I always notice it because I was more of the any percent runner and you don't get that mask. And I'm like, why? I would like to have that mask there.
You're also having the same heart attack as Klaxi.
Doing a nice sub jump and a nice CNT spin to save a little bit of time over Klaxi, but finishing the level very safely and moving on to the revisits now. Ooh, Klaxi. Yeah, Klaxi had another heart attack right there, but managed to back it up really well. Alright, so Hypno's doing Cortex Power now. He still has another revisit to go other than this one, so once he does Upstream, we will be able to tell what the situation is.
I mean, Upstream for Hypno would be the last
Native,
one,
yeah, you're right. Yeah, Native also. Yeah, I completely forgot that Native. I mean, Native is not a revisit, but he still has to do Native. You're right. Jamie, thanks for the correction. Whoa! Klaxi making the clutchest saves in Fumbling, oh my god. I bet he's having a little bit of a heart attack, but clearly alive still as Crash keeps moving, so I'm gonna have to call an ambulance. Maybe an ambulance for me though, because that gave me a heart attack. The thing also with Fumbling is that a lot of the cycles, like the level is very mean in the sense that it makes you, like you get the light source, but it makes you wait for the next cycle a lot of the times. So the light source just doesn't last enough at times. You have to do a little bit of the level in the dark. It tends to not be super bad, but you know, sometimes that can happen.
Going whole hog, hopefully gets that infamous box.
Yeah, he's got it there.
Yeah.
We'll see if someone gets it. I'm 50% sure that someone will get it.
Oh, for sure. In a race with this many people.
Yeah, I feel like Whole Hog... Yeah, for real. I feel like Whole Hog was just a level that was put in last minute or something. Because it's by far the jankiest level in the game. There's so much random stuff that can happen that is not even your fault. But okay. Like, just besides the glitch box, where you just walk over it. Like, you can get distinct cycles on the boards, where you literally, for example, the boards that you have to go under, sometimes you go under and you get hit anyway. It's like, okay, pretty awesome. I'm not mad. And it's all into the run, too. Why can't you storm me in our game? Why can't you do something? Just throw another hog level in there. Why did we make this and we're only going to use it in a single level? And you have 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Joy using another nice sub jump right there. And Klaxi obtaining the second to last gem, actually 24 gems already, so only 2 levels left for Klaxi, which means that they are very much so ahead. As meaning they really only have Whole Hog and what, Boulder Dash? Left.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're actually coming to the end of the race. I didn't even realize, but you know, it's just what the nature is with the lack of revisits that there are now.
So Hypno is doing Upstream, but I think he still has Boulder Dash left to do. He did Whole Hog, but not Boulder Dash.
Yeah. And he still has native, no?
And, yes, yeah.
Yeah, so Hypno's definitely in third right now. Joy is doing Boulder Dash first, that's fine, I guess. I guess it doesn't really do much at this point. No, actually, it would lose time, right, to do Boulder Dash first? Because of the map movement?
No. I mean...
Just a little bit, I guess.
The only thing that, like, you could do is right... It's not right here. Is damage abuse the mask that you get on the TNT.
Oh yeah, you're
Dash.
right. Yeah, damage abuse the
That's
mask.
about it. But after Boulder Dash, you're forced into Slippery, right?
Yeah. So the character moves 1.
Yeah.
So I guess it loses time, but I mean, if you can use the mask just to damage abuse over there is a good call too. Would also save some time, so... Oh, well. I mean, just for safety then. You would damage abuse there.
There's also the plants at the end.
Yeah, true. Very, very true. Boulder Dash is another very janky level, especially like the other area, like the extra area that you get from the purple gem. Like you can actually die upwards because of how low how low the death trigger is down there. So if you bounce on top of the boxes that you have to like break, you will die, which is awesome. Thanks for that one game. But yeah, you can do something called boulder escape, like what Joy just did. If you zigzag enough, you're able to just stand on the ball or on the gem as fast as possible without having to wait for the boulder to come by. A little easier in the Japanese version just because the boulder just moves slower, but still doable in the NTSU version. Klaxi is very close to closing it though, and taking it home most likely. Still with a sub 110, it's looking like. Maybe potentially even a 108, yeah. I mean, it's not, the 108 is going to be very close, but sub 110 should be doable. Potentially for both Klaxi and Joy, so that's very, very impressive. Hypno here on third, closing it up soonish as well. It only has native and boulder dash to go, I believe. And he's very close to hit of native.
Yes, should be, yeah.
Alright, Klaxi closing it up, finishing the last level, and now we have the final boss, no boss. Where we go into Great Hole and just sneak by Cortex or something, I guess. Because who needs a final boss?
Let's chat. Look at that 35%. Well, it is 100% now.
That actually has an explanation. And I don't know if you all know, like all watching know how sketchy the save system is in this game. But it actually, like, as I mentioned at the beginning, like, the levels themselves actually give percentage, but they only give percentage once you do their bonuses and save the game. But because we don't enter a ton of bonuses, we don't get that percentage. But once you get all the gems, the game is like, he got all the gems, so he must have done all the levels and gives you all the levels percentage, yeah, in one go. But yeah, Klaxi is about to wrap it up here with a low 109 and getting first place, I believe. So that's very, very good. Let's check for confirmation here in the race time. Yep, that is first place for Klaxi. So you take home $150 USD.
Let's go. Enjoy right behind.
Yeah, Joy very, very close together. Also gonna land a 109 in this case, slightly higher one, but still very, very good. You know, getting a sub 110 in a race is very, very impressive. So, yeah, Joy wrapping it up here with a 109.42, I believe it was.
Yeah, that's a 42.
So, also
I
very
guess
good.
he wanted to pause or like save because you need to say finish in race time, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I believe it was a
he
42.
did that first.
Yeah, so very good. Very, very good times for both of them. And honestly, very close too, for what Crash one is considered. Only 30 seconds or so, like differentiating the top two runners is very good. So we'll be closing up here with Hypno shortly, and then Noijar.
And Ujar looks like still has 5 levels.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. It is just bound to happen to someone. And sometimes life feels like it just rolls the dice at random, and then whoever whoever lands on that is just gonna have the bad run. Yeah, I remember one time I was racing Ted, and like Ted and Burger it was, but Burger got so destroyed by the game. It just so happens, and Burger is an amazing runner. Unfortunately, he isn't doing the race today, but you know, he's been consistently a very top runner, SPRASH player around. Kinda wish he joined this Spash League. I think it would do super amazing in it. He has a record in Spash Facta, so... yeah, Hypno here.
Having to wait for the Boulder.
Not enough Zigzag SMH. You all can... I give you all permit to shame Hypno for that one. But yeah, Hypno getting the last gem with 99 lives.
It's gonna be super good run for Hypno because he has a 112, right?
Yeah, this should be a 112. No, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah. I don't remember the seconds that he has, but this is a pretty close run to his PB.
Oh, he's comparing to PB. Bro, I cannot see the split.
I can't see the numbers. I mean, that is blue, so blue's not red, so he is ahead.
Yeah. I like that logic. I'm gonna use it for future commentary.
I know Claxy debates because he doesn't have red on his splits. So I'm like, So that is a PB for Hypno.
Yeah, should be. Or no, it shouldn't be, never mind.
No?
Wait.
Oh no. Never mind.
Yeah, okay, so he's comparing to fake split. Oh. No, this has to be shamed. This has to be. What do you mean fake splits?
Because he got his C1 Hondo PB, he got it in a 305.
Oh. No excuses.
No
gotta retime it.
If that happens, I always import like the individual game to my splits.
Hypnoshark strikes again.
Yeah, still a pretty good run for...
Yeah, no, still pretty good. 112. Nothing to scoff at.
17 seconds from his PB is insanely good.
Yeah, I think it was just... I mean, he's just playing very consistently. I don't think he died. Yeah. Frankly. Maybe he did,
it's like...
It was very good play, though. Yeah, consistent play.
It goes to show how much consistency matters in this. Because, like, no shame to Hypno. I don't think he's like... I don't know what his highest position in the leaderboard in a Sprash game is, but he's like a pretty average runner in all of the games, and he's like 4th in the Sprash Factor, right?
Something around there, yeah. Yeah, if you were able to just round out everything, like every game with consistency,
yeah,
it just helps so much.
You don't need to be top level at every game. But like Hypno has that consistency that allows him in a Sprash run to be at that high of a rank.
Yep. Alright, so Hypno has posted the link for the next race. In next week, so next week is Crash 2, then the week after is Spyro 2. So we're getting 2 weeks of Crash in a row. So I'm sorry for Spyro fans out there, but you get to wait. But yeah, Neuer doing Boulder Dash right now. Still have a few levels to go, unfortunately, just the way the game is, but they'll be able to close it up. I'm sure they'll be able to snatch some good points as well from this race to work for qualification for the Spash League. That's the other thing, is that you kind of have to keep it together in this sort of scenario. I think Neuer was doing pretty decently. Oh, we have double Neuer.
Double chip.
Double potato chip on screen.
And it's so funny that they're almost in
Enjoy
sync,
host Neuer.
but one stream is 2 seconds ahead of the other. But the chips are in sync.
That is so funny, yeah.
What does Nejar have left? He's doing Boulder Dash. I don't think he's done Whole Hog, and then it's just
Native, potentially.
native and Rolling Stones.
Yeah. I believe that's the case. Yeah, those chips are just in sync.
They're in sync.
I don't know what that brand is, but we're not getting sponsored by them, so... Come on, potato chip brands, you should sponsor the Spash League! And we can make this event bigger. Or something. Yeah, let's take a look at race time. GG if no one else has finished just yet, but I get in chat that Super Sphere is about to finish, so they may snatch 4th place, or 4th place, rather.
It is hard with so many people that entered to like open everyone's stream to see who's gonna finish next.
Yeah, I cannot open 30 streams, so
oh
I'm
my
sorry.
god, we have triple chip.
Perfect, thank you. Thank you, Joy, for doing this.
Unfortunately, not in sync.
Okay. Hypno cannot host Neuer because then the stream dies. Then Hypno should... What do you mean? We're not gonna get 4th chip? Is it my ult? It's not my ult.
But they can?
Oh, they can't? Oh, apparently we're getting news from the voices in my head that Hypno is using an alt account and doesn't have access, so they cannot host. Then we cannot get 4 chips. Should have used my ult. Okay, yeah, so Super Sphere finished with a 116.56. Very good. I'm not sure what their PvE is, but it's somewhere around like a 112 or something like that, isn't it? I don't remember.
I think 110 even. Let me check.
There's a 113, yeah. That's pretty good. 116, not bad. Good job to Super Sphere.
I do need to go back to this game. Like, I want to go back to this game after I have like a console setup. And
I don't want to go back to this game.
And Cortex Power.
I am perfectly content. Yes, thank you, Crody. Thank you so much for this. So now we have 4 chips.
That cycle, I'm good then.
But yes, I am perfectly content to just keep doing Orion the Blind Forest. Shameless promotion, very good game. Okay, so we have 4 people very, very close. They're using the same layout here. Doing Native Fortress right now. They all have 58 Wumpa as well. Crazy. Thank you on the raid, Super Sphere, and thanks on...
Well, at least it's better than last year, where...
I was gonna say, thanks on joining the raid. Yeah, congrats on 4th place.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say. Good job.
Oh, the Crash 2 sign-up sheets are already here.
But yeah, Noger should be closing it somewhat soonish too. I'm not sure if this is their last level. I haven't played attention, but they've already done Boulder Dash, so they could be.
Rolling Stones.
Oh yeah, Rolling Stones. is also
CP should be my last level, right?
Or maybe
it
they've
should
done
be, yeah.
already. I don't know.
Okay. I'll leave it then.
I'm still entranced about.
Yeah, I mean, it just minimizes
chips.
unnecessary
Potato
map
chip
food.
that-
Yeah.
I've lost track of the levels that he's done.
Let's check race time GG. Okay, no one else has finished yet, so Noger can still have a chance at a prize. A whole $750.
Yo, the box.
I mean, to be fair, that's how
If you go-
expensive lunch is at
like,
my
yourself
work.
up to the
So
right-hand side and then go neutral.
should have joined. Could have had lunch for free one day.
Right hand side?
Yeah.
Okay, we got the key.
Hey, Joey.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. I didn't know if you had my chat open.
Yeah, I did.
No, you're dying. No.
Yeah, man.
Oh, Ninja.
I'm so sad he DNF'd.
Unfortunately.
No.
Yeah, he
just
shouldn't
saw
get. He
Hypnos
shouldn't get a
tweet.
prize from him.
I just saw Hypnos tweet and he says that he's not dodging the it's rigged allegations.
Whoa.
It's rigged.
God,
I'm just
damn.
very happy to have gotten a gem.
Like, what do you mean that had to be pre-recorded?
That's all
Why do you think he was streaming earlier? Not because it's his
That was
job.
definitely some Hog Wild right there.
It was to splice her on
Trials of Darkness.
in front of all his viewers.
I'm sorry in advance.
Oh my.
What do you mean that? You already said it.
Makes me just want to come up with like a huge copy pasta of just innuendos using the Crash level titles.
But
Yeah,
let me just
anyway,
say
I'm
there
gonna
was
be
some heavy
checking,
machinery involved.
Race time GG sort of periodically just to make sure that
And now you turn the lights on.
And
no one
there was
else or
definitely some
someone else
heavy
has maybe
machinery
finished or
involved
not. We have 2 forfeits.
Alright, well, level up, fuck up.
You know what? I was honestly expecting a lot more forfeits from this game.
Wait, are we and Gregor in the same level now? How did
I'm
that
actually like,
happen?
I'm surprised it's only 2.
Routes are crazy.
Hypno.
You have a comment here on Super Sphere's run.
And all of the
Says,
names have
"Screw
been
whole
changed
hog,"
because they
so
knew.
we know it happened to someone.
Toxic.
Yeah, the last 20 minutes. Look, I'm trying my best to be entertaining. It's not my fault. You can join the
And
call if
getting
you
paid in
want.
exposure right now.
Come on, Hypno.
Surprised no one's done that for like April Fools or something. Just like have 4 different names and then have it be the same feed 4 different times.
Yo, he actually did it.
Because
This is
he's got
supposed to
this
be a
fucking
secret channel.
Spinning Pringle, they're all out of sync
I've
because they're
given
raised
in.
at different times. It's just
I
fucking...
cannot believe this.
I'm here.
We have been raided.
What is this? You don't have the commentator role. Who are you?
Yeah, right. I've
I
found
knew
the
this was
secret
rigged.
PC. Dude, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. My biggest deaths were like 15 seconds in Native Fortress 1. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
Oh my god.
I only saw like a micro death in
I gotta-
Cortex
wait, I'll
Power.
listen to
Any
I
percent?
got a ways to go.
yeah, had a small death in Cortex
I'd
Power
have-
any,
I'd
had a
have 2
small
more
death in
levels.
Lights Out
Great
any, and had a small death in Native any.
It's on a
That
good
was
pace,
it.
I guess.
So when are you learning Cortex Power Escape?
Couldn't be me.
People shamed you for you.
Let's see
For
where
that.
I wonder
Archie
if I wonder if
versus
someone
Buddy
in the
Man is.
comments of this YouTube video is going to be like, "Oh,
Gregor
so
and I are like tied
Cortex
right
Power
now.
and Upstream when, man?" Like,
Buddy's in
You see that everyone got it?
He's
Everyone
only
that went for
years.
Upstream got it?
everyone, but wait. So New Jar's run also
Yeah.
got Upstream.
Yeah, New Year's Run also got Upstream.
Yo, what a gamer!
Like
dude.
everyone got it, but absolutely insane. That is the most
Holy-
insane part of the race, I think.
It also looks like
Yeah,
he
that's
failed to
crazy.
roller skip.
That is crazy. All right, New Jars.
There we go.
Coming up
That
to
is the
the,
last gem
Nice.
for him.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna say, Slide's
Slice
very
Sweeper
good.
stole 5th.
We have the
Ooh.
Potato League now.
Nice pooper.
Cheap league.
123.55 Slice Sweeper.
Huh?
Dang.
Oh, very nice. 5th place. Well, they are able to snatch the $750.
Oh yeah.
750, I mean. 750.
7 and 50.
Yeah, whoever got fifth place was gonna get 750, and only fifth place. First place, 150.
Wait, so news on mainstream
Damn.
didn't even get fifth?
No,
Okay, so
I
New
just
Year's
fucked
about to
myself
just
over. I
close
spun
it.
the
So that was
seconds
their
of
last
the
level,
boxes
yeah.
New Jersey just
happened,
got really
Ico?
unlucky from what I could tell.
Dropped
It's
the
just,
bag.
God.
yeah, I
Spun
mean, it is
the
bound to happen
seconds
with
of
Crash
the-
One.
I
Like,
think I fucked
someone
myself.
in a race like this, someone's gonna get
You gotta
Finish
messed
the
up.
level with all the boxes.
I
Yeah.
under, you know what? I respect that attempt at the
That's
sub
the
jump.
best. You
No,
don't
you're-
have to do the blue gem section.
Yeah, very true.
I respect it. I respect
I don't
this
think
so
I've
much.
ever done the level without the blue gem path though.
It's
I mean, it's
literally
literally
just
just
a
a
straight
straight
jump.
fast.
So have cheap
Yeah,
potato
one
finishing
jump.
up soon.
Jump on a
Here with a
spider.
125.
What? I missed the jump.
It's a hell of a
Thank
stream
you.
layout.
I mean, you're
It
fine
really
with
is.
those
Really is.
checkpoints if you're just going for the key.
Okay.
GG's.
GG's.
Anyway,
Shoutouts to
Now
me
with the
stream, thank you.
knowledge. At 125.09. GG.
GG's, Ninja.
GG's.
Seems